what's poppin', guys? So I wanted to talk about the fact that we already know 2026 is just stacked with a lot of games, right? There's so many games that are coming out the rest of this year, and everybody and their mama knows that Grand Theft Auto is the biggest game coming out this year. No matter what game you are, you like worried about that GTA 6. Even Zelda is worried about that GTA 6 a little bit. So I've come across this interesting article / video from the game business, game business, Christopher Drake's outfit. And they were talking about, hey, here are a list of some metrics we got from, wish lists and, the trailer views and videos that kind of give us an idea of what a lot of the gaming populace are interested in playing that is not called GTA 6. So I thought it would be pretty cool to kind of just go through this list and kind of see where my thoughts are in it, and see if they align with the broader audience, right? So the cool thing is that they have these like tables, and they have a cool this one goes on about like what kind of individual game trailers were viewed in this year, like how many trailer views do they have. And then the next one talks about how many articles were covered, and then there's more about like wish lists in the next one. So this is provided by Level 1 Analytics, by the way. So the interesting thing about this chart is that if I didn't tell you that Zelda had about 152 million trailer views, you would have been like, really? I was a little surprised, but I do know Ocarina of Time is really big, and I think the hype of bring a remake of some people's greatest game of all time is really huge, so that makes sense. I do think I'll talk about this in terms of like what do these trailer views actually mean in terms of sales potential, right? Like, so you see like 152 million views, that means 150 million people are going to buy the game. It's like, no, I mean, you have to consider the Switch 2 only has about 20 something million install base, and if this game comes out, this year, it's probably going to sell initially a couple million. Lifetime, I think it could probably do 10 to 15 million lifetime. But we gotta remember, Zelda pre Breath of the Wild wasn't like above a 10 million seller, right? So we have to see like how this old style of Zelda translates, right? Is this going to sell above 10 or below? But I think it's a 10 to 15 million seller. Wolverine is in the same ballpark to trailer views at 128 million, and that's going to do probably 10 to 15 million views as well, because it's Marvel and it's Wolverine. I don't think it would do as big as Spider-Man, but it would do somewhere in that ballpark, right? And then the interesting thing to see is like Call of Duty's number 3, which is surprising, right? Because that's a big game, but it's still it's about where it's supposed to be. Tokan being the 4th most viewed trailer is very interesting to me. Like it's the 4th most viewed trailer out of all this. That's really interesting. Almost 100 million views. That's pretty cool. And there's some other cool games in here, like Beast Reincarnation has some pretty high numbers. Surprising that Beast Reincarnation or Tokan has more views than Gears E-Day. That kind of tells me that the current modern gaming landscape, there are certain franchises that used to be big back in the day that are not as big as they are now. Like, I think a game like Halo, which just came out, and you can see from the concurrent players on Steam and PlayStation that it's doing all right, but it's not like blowing the doors off, right? I feel like Gears probably is one of those franchises that fall in that category where it used to be a pillar franchise for Microsoft. I don't think it quite is that anymore. I think Microsoft's pillar franchises now are Forza, Minecraft, Gears, not Gears, Call of Duty, Candy Crush. Those are their pillar games. Everything else that people remember fondly, like Halo, Gears, those kind of games, I don't think they're the big core franchise anymore. They're nice titles for the hardcore to remember, but they're not what they used to be. That's my personal take looking at some of the numbers that are coming out for. When they put out the Gears remaster, it didn't really do much. They put out the Halo remaster or remake, it doesn't seem to be blowing the doors off. So in terms of like sales and player engagement so far, at least from what we've seen, but we'll see what happens. So that's cool to see that Control Resonance is in the top 20 with 10 million, which is decent. Arbidos is doing pretty good too as well. Phantom Blaze Zero and Onimusha are doing well. So yeah, it's interesting to look at. Like the top 4 games are like blowing everything else in terms of trailer views. Like Zelda, Wolverine, Call of Duty, Tokan are like blowing everything out of the water in terms of views. I don't know if that would translate to sales. I think they'll all do well, but I feel like something like Switch Sports Resorts and Minecraft Dungeons may outsell something like Tokan, right? But the top three will do very well. That's just thought. Those are articles. I mean, they kind of correlate. I mean, Zelda is because it has a nostalgic game, an old classic coming back, so it has a gargantuan count of articles coverage. But then the rest are like God of Dawn, Walker, Wolverine, Gears E-Day. I feel like Gears E-Day is here only because of the whole exclusivity, console exclusive thing, even though you can play on PC type thing. But everything else is kind of seems in line. Like Tokan is high up there, and surprisingly, Captain Tsubasa is there, which is interesting, and Dust Plus also being covered in there. So interesting to look at the coverage of the games. The other interesting data is that, like, I think the video views are like when they combine all the trailers that have been released about that game that specific year, and when you do that, you can see Call of Duty takes the cake because Call of Duty has a huge install base. I don't feel like this year's Call of Duty is gonna be like the biggest Call of Duty ever. I feel like Black Ops 6 that was the biggest launch. I don't know if this Modern Warfare 4 is gonna do that per se, but I think it'll be a decent launch. It'll be better than last year's launch. The problem for this Call of Duty this year is that it's kind of coming in the wake of GTA 6, which will pretty much cut off the legs of any game when it releases. So when GTA 6 comes out, no other game, maybe bar Zelda, will be able to keep selling in that November-December slot until like next year. So Call of Duty usually comes out and it sells well, and then it keeps selling all the way through to the end of the year. I think Call of Duty's problem this year might be that it might get that tail might get cut off by GTA 6. So that's the problem. That's one of the problems I think Call of Duty is going to have this year. Like Wolverine is not going to have that much of that problem because Wolverine is going to come out like 2 months before GTA. Call of Duty is coming out like maybe a month, less than a month. So that's going to be closer. But that's just my thoughts. Yeah, and then you can see by trailers, yeah, it's Call of Duty Wolverine. So that was going to do good no matter all the hullabaloo around the boycott with Sony and the discs and all the controversy. I think Marvel Wolverine is going to sell fine to the casual audience. Like I said, I don't think it's going to do Spider-Man numbers, but I think it's going to do 10 or 15 lifetime, maybe like 3, 4, 5 million in a show months. So that's fine. Tokan, it's a fighting game, so I don't think it's going to be like crazy big. Because even Street Fighter 6 has only sold like, what, 7, 8 million? And Mortal Kombat maybe close to 10. I think Tokan 3 to 5 million lifetime is probably where it's going to land. If it does better than that, then great. But that's, you know, fighting games, that's kind of where they fall. So it's doing good to us. Fourth, watching in videos. Gears, total trailers, 5th, which is not bad. Phantom Blade 0. Controls, top 10, which is good. So yeah, a lot of cool looking different games over here. And if you look at IGN's wish lists, which I think is different than Steam's wish list, I don't know. But Wolverine is the #1, which surprised me because I thought IGN's audience it's a diverse audience. There's a lot of, you know, Xbox, PC, Switch, and PlayStation guys. So I'm surprised that Wolverine, which is only on PlayStation, is the top of the chart, which surprised me, but that's good. Though I know that will sell well, but Control is interesting because for Control to be #2, but Remedy games usually don't sell crazy. They sell 1 million, 2 million tops. So I'm surprised Control Resonant got the #2 start in terms of wish lists. I hope that game does well. I mean, I'm excited for it. I'll play it, but I just don't think I don't think Remedy games are big sellers. So I don't think it will do crazy numbers, but we'll see. I'll be surprised. And then the other games, you know, make sense. Kena being in there is interesting because that game may be delayed because there's no release date and we're headed into August. There's a chance that game's getting delayed. Yeah, so these are all like cool little metrics to look at. But outside of GTA 6, well, it's going to be the big games. And I think the big games we can kind of tell, even if you look at this table on the left, is going to be Call of Duty, Wolverine, Zelda, Tokan. Those 4 I think are going to do well. I think outside of that, Onimusha has a good shot to do some decent Control. Probably won't be a big seller. Wii Sports Resort would probably do well. I'm trying to think in that period. And those are the big ones probably. Gears, I don't know how well it would do, especially now that it's not on PlayStation and Gears is not a franchise it used to be. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's all I have. Thank you for listening, and yeah, remember, Jesus loves you.